the thing that's happened is not a reflection of you. It's something that's happened. And it's okay for it to be with you for the rest of your life, but it's not okay for it to destroy you for the rest of your life. Welcome back to the Live 100 podcast, the place you come to take control of your life, whether it's breaking your habits, building a future that you truly deserve, or just getting the momentum behind you, getting the wind in your sails. And today I wanted to touch on the topic trauma, right? And when you think about trauma can come in many ways. There's many times that you could face trauma as a child, right? You could have loss, you could have disruption in your family life, or as an adult. There could be many things from facing bankruptcy to going through divorce to facing loss in your own life. And I saw a post that touched on some of the effects of trauma, and I thought it would be very beneficial to talk to it today, because if you want to build your fortress in your life, if you want to get a better outcome, if you want to just be happier, to make more money, to have more success, to feel better, to get more fit, it's hard to do so when you have a crack in your veil, when there's a crack in your armor. And many of us, we've had challenges in our past. We've had things that have left not only physical scars, but emotional scars. And that is tough to go build the fortress of your life when you have a cracked foundation. And we talk a lot about building the foundation, building up the sturdy base, so you can start to grow on top of it, right? So you can build this castle that is your life, so you can live the life that you want, so you can get what you deserve to have in this life, so you can do all the things that God has put in store for you. But if you're doing all this from a place of just broken, it's hard to get yourself out of the gate, both emotionally, psychologically, physically. And that's okay. If you face challenges, like that's just part of life. There's many things that happen where in fact it is not your fault. And it wasn't something that you intended to have happen, but it happened and it's had a lasting effect on you. So let's talk to some of these things here that they touched on today. One of the things about a trauma is that you become really dependent on others, right? You become really dependent because you lost something, right? And you don't want to have that feeling of loss ever again. And because of that, you hold on to stuff. Now, that can be useful in ways where you can have people around you that can help you, but at a certain point, you have to take back the dependency on yourself, right? You have to take responsibility. And it can also draw us into relationships, into networks that aren't great for us. But because we've had this loss before, it drives us to have this need, right? Because we've had this abandonment before. We've had this pain. We've had this betrayal where it just makes us vulnerable. So the self-awareness aspect of the Live 100 program is very pertinent at this stage. You have to be self-aware is that if your dependency right now on others is something that has drawn you to the worst, is not helping you, then you have to stand up. You have to straighten your back. You have to take back the control. Now, dependency can come in many ways, right? You can get dependent on other things, right? Drugs, alcohol, things that try to blur the lines of that hurt that you faced before. So the true question is just, am I being too dependent on X? Am I using this as a crutch? Am I using this as something to hold me up when in fact it's just a replacement for me actually facing the pain and facing the setback? Now, if you face trauma or you face loss, I'm not saying just brush under the carpet. I'm not saying just discard it, just move on. What I am saying is that you have to eventually look it into the eyes and understand that it is not you. The thing that's happened is not a reflection of you. It's something that's happened. And it's okay for it to be with you for the rest of your life, but it's not okay for it to destroy you for the rest of your life. Next is that you constantly expect just everything to turn bad. When you've been in a moment where something bad has happened, you ultimately expect that everything follows is going to be bad too. So you prepare yourself in this shell, right? You never break out of this shell. You always put yourself in this place of just preparing to put your hands up just to make sure that nothing's coming at you, right? Because you're always expecting everything to go wrong. And when you think about the podcast here, Live 100, to live the life you truly desire, if you're expecting everything to go wrong, you can never get out of your own way to allow things to go right. Because you prepare for disappointment. You sabotage the moments that are right because you just can't trust that things will be good because of what has been bad before. But your life is not just built on bad. Because something has happened in the past does not mean everything forward is going to happen in sequence where it will be one bad event followed by another. Now, something that's happened has been cataclysmic, that's been horrible in the past. It may have ramifications for some time in the future, maybe ripples in the water, like a stone skipping into the water, but it doesn't set the stage for everything that follows. What sets the stage for everything that follows is that you take that moment and you understand that it wasn't exactly what you want, but it doesn't dictate your future. Next is that you can't take in anything good. And this goes in the same part. You expect the worst, right? When good comes to you, you can't accept it. You can't accept compliments. You can't accept people to come too close to you because you don't want to take that in and believe that you deserve it. Or you're afraid it's just going to disappear or it's going to come with something else that's happened before and it's going to basically end and cause more hurt. But you do accept greatness. You do deserve it. You deserve to have the love. You deserve to have the life. You deserve to have everything you desire. So don't allow the past to prepare you in a way that you think that you're not worthy, because you are. I don't know you, and I'm telling you right now, I know because God has given you this life, given you this breath, that you deserve everything that you can and will have in this life. They may hear those words, well, I deserve to have that. No. What bad has happened is unfortunate, not wanted, not welcome. And honestly, I'm sure it hurts. I've had loss, setback. I've had all things happen in my life and it hurts and it doesn't feel good. I've seen the struggle it's caused for me. I've seen the effects it has on other people around me that has happened to. And I don't welcome that for anyone. I sure don't welcome it for you, but I do know the only way to get back on track is for you right now to step up and to take back control of your life. We start with the break because we are broken, right? That's why the break block in Live 100 is so crucial, because you can't build, you can't magnify without healing the break. So you have to be self-aware for how you are right now and showing up. And you have to own it. And many times people hear owning where you are as an acceptance for where you are. But the owning where you are is the only way to break free of where you stand today, because you're self-aware to say, okay, I'm not in a good place. And then you own it to say, okay, I am not in a good place right now, but I'm going to make the change, because that's where positioning yourself for greatness comes from as principle 3, as part of the break block. So the own it is only a moment in time for you to accept where you are, because you can't change if we won't accept where we are. We see many times people, they won't accept where they actually are, and they imagine themselves in another place, and they can never get out of their own way because they're in their own mind seeing the actual moment in a different light. So if you truly want change, it's time to stop apologizing for everything. It's time to stop feeling guilty for things that happened that were just in the past, that just were not your fault, and start accepting the love that's around you and just be in control of your life. And understand, if you want lasting change, if you want to see the future that you truly deserve, it takes for you to understand that a broken state is not the end of where you lie and where you live. A broken state is the first step for identifying what you have right now, so you can start to heal the wounds, that you can start to take the foundation and sturdy the foundation, right the ship, put yourself, get your backbone back behind you, so you can make the change that starts the ripple effect to become the life that you truly desire. Live 100 is about these moments. It's about this point of breaking the habits that have put you in a state that is not the life you deserve, so you can start to build who you truly deserve to be, so you can eventually magnify the greatness that's right in front of you. And if you're asking yourself, how can I get out of my own way, go over to jasonyarusi.com. There's a free assessment there. You can answer a few questions that will just set you on a path to fully look at yourself in a new light, to get out of your own way so you can start your journey today. All right, that's what I have. This is the Live 100 podcast. I'm Jason Yarusi. Let's do this.